You know, I've spoken about EOS before and told you a little bit about their lease purchase program, and I'm going to start going through their contract. But in this particular video, I want to point out a couple of things that I came across just kind of skimming over their contract. And one thing that jumped out at me is this. This is the dispatch policy for EOS, and this is EOS Trucking out of Little Rock, Arkansas, or North Little Rock, Arkansas. They're on Fiber Optics Drive. And Appendix H, as in Henry, of their agreement reads as follows. This is their dispatch policy. Pursuant to the agreement, contractor has agreed to transport, load, and unload on behalf of carrier freight made available to contractor. While contractor may refuse a particular load, so long as it does not result in a breach of the agreement dealing with customer service standards, or it does not result in an adverse impact upon carrier's customers, contractor shall owe carrier, and carrier may deduct from contractor damages for breach of agreement for failing to take a load after committing to be available for dispatch. If carrier loses an existing load because of contractor's breach of agreement, carrier shall charge back to contractor $250 for reasonable administrative expenses incurred in seeking, canceling, and covering a load on behalf of contractor. So if you refuse a load, and in their opinion, and it's exclusively their opinion, they have incurred a loss because you refused that load, well, they're going to charge you $250. But wait, there's more. If carrier did not have a load available for contractor, then carrier shall charge back $125 for reasonable administrative expenses incurred in seeking a load on behalf of contractor. So if they don't have you a load, they're going to charge $125 to you to find you a load. So you're going to pay them $250 if you refuse a load, and in their opinion, it impacts their customer service standards. Well, you have no idea whether anything impacts their customers or not. They can tell you whatever they want. Clearly, they don't have to put anything in writing. This appendix is being executed between contractor and carrier to comply with the requirements of 49 CFR 376.12 and constitutes an addition to the agreement herein being executed and previously executed between contractor and carrier. Now, who in their right mind is going to go along with that? I think this cheap attorney that they use actually intended to say that as a result of you refusing a load, then they have to go out and like go to a broker or something like that to find you a load. Then they're going to charge you $125. I think, however, it doesn't matter what I think. What matters, and I've said this many times before, what matters at the end of the day is what is in writing. And that is not what this thing says. What this says is if you refuse a load, they're going to charge you $250 for doing that. And then they're going to charge you another $125 to find you a load. But I'm not done yet. That was Appendix H, as in Henry. Now, Appendix F, as in Frank, settlement deduction schedule. Let me tell you about this. This is some of the highest settlement deductions I've seen in a lease purchase agreement, bar none. All right. For your fuel tax, your IFTA tax, they're going to charge you $28 a week. Okay. For your insurance, your bobtail, your physical damage, and cargo, they're going to charge you $210 a week. I want you to contact a insurance broker for commercial carriers. You contact Progressive, or you contact any other insurance provider that covers commercial vehicles. They will tell you. You can contact OIDA. They will tell you that it is necessary to have bobtail insurance only when you're going to be bobtailing from point A to point B. And that's it. Bobtail policies typically don't last longer than 3 days. So why on God's green earth are all of these carriers charging you each and every single week for bobtail insurance when you're not using it? Why would you have to pay for it? And bobtail insurance ain't that expensive. I mean, it's really not. I've had to buy bobtail insurance a couple of different times, and I may have paid maybe $300 for that little limited coverage, because it was to cover me while I was bobtail between point A and point B. Now, your Qualcomm or Fleetmatics, whatever, they're going to charge you $15 a week for that. Your occupational accident insurance, which should be optional, all right, that should be up to you whether you want to bear that expense or not, but they're going to charge you $40 a week for it. You can get that through OIDA if you're a member for a hell of a lot less than this. Your base plates and permits, these guys are charging you $68 every single week. My base plate for Tennessee, if I remember correctly, is about $1,100 a year. Your reserve escrow account is $50 a week for the first 20 weeks of the lease. Your maintenance escrow account, this just kills me, 12 cents a mile, increased by 1 cent a mile every 100,000 miles. Transflow, $5 a week. Passenger insurance, $10 a week. And your pre-pass, pipe pass, tolls, $50 a week. This is another revenue stream for them. This isn't just covering that expense for them and even covering their expense for it and a small administrative cost. These are exceptionally high. All right. For example, there is one well-known national carrier that's been around for a long time, and I'd say probably, 30 years, and their lease purchase guys pay like $220 odd a week, like $225 a week, something like that, plus 43 cents a mile for the truck payment. So, the more miles you run in a week, the higher the truck payment is going to be. But you're going to pay 43 cents a mile for your truck payment, and then $220 odd a week on top of that. And that covers all your insurances. That covers everything, except for your fuel. Your fuel's the only, variable expense. And if you want to make a $5,000 down payment, then they're going to put you on I think it's like $850 or $875 a week lease payment, and it'd be the same thing every single week. So that's a much better deal than what this is. This is just absurd. One thing I wanted to do in this video is to point out just how outrageous their dispatch policy is, and what those costs are, because this is insane. I mean, truly insane. I'm gonna cut this video short right now, and I'll do another one in the coming days. So keep your eye out for it. But we'll be doing more. I'm going to go through. There's about altogether between both of these agreements, between your independent contractor agreement and the actual lease agreement, is going to be about 40 odd pages. Their long-term lease agreement. And I haven't really dug into this long-term lease agreement yet, but just giving it a cursory reading, you're going to want to run far and fast. So you guys stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Bye.